Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our Total War Warhammer mod reviews. So this is just kind of a series where I go through, like in some of my other mod reviews, and I just check out mods and recommend mods for you guys. So last time we checked out a unit and faction mod. However, this time we are looking at a overhaul mod, along with a couple of other mods that the same creator has made, and that creator is Areus, who some of you might know as the primary person who sends me battle replays. By the way, anyone can send me battle replays, and I will try and make them into a video. But anyways, so his main mod here for Total Warhammer is called Project Areus Balance Overhaul. Now, it changes a lot of balancing and stats for the different units, cost, and all sorts of different things. In fact, it's such a long list of things that he's changed that there's no way I could accurately describe everything. However, he's got a pretty good list of things that he's changed here to sum it up. So I'm just going to read off his list here. So it says his overhaul change list is, and it also says in parentheses, will be updated as new things come in. But it starts off with fatigue, drag width, speed, mass, magic duration, magic effects, magic damage, battle stats, melee attack, charge bonus, etc., etc., unit sizes, unit cost and upkeep, melee weapon damage, ranged weapon and artillery damage, ranged weapon and artillery range, abilities duration, abilities effects, armor, experience bonuses, and thresholds, fatigue effects. He also recommends that you play it on ultra size. That's kind of what he's balanced it to for the units. Yeah, it's quite the laundry list of various different things that he has changed. And let me just tell you from personal experience that it does have a pretty big effect on things. If you're looking for a mod that overhauls the entire balance of the game, then this is definitely one that I would check out if I were you. Now, if you're looking for something really flashy that adds a bunch of new units or factions or something, then this probably isn't what you're looking for. In fact, he states that inside this mod, he is not trying to be lore accurate or accurate to the tabletop game, because he has no experience with those things. Instead, what he's trying to do is make a balanced overhaul of the game. So he's taking units, he's taking the factions and the different species and units and weapons, and he's trying to look at them logically and say, okay, so this should probably have these stats, or this faction should have a feel more like this. What can I do that ways? Or this unit should do this when in reality it's only doing this right now. So for example, the footage you're seeing right now is me testing some of the balancing that he has done, and just to throw that out as an example, the Empire is one thing that I know he really wanted to work on. And so you'll notice that the Empire is, well, hopefully I'll show you some of the cost units, but he's also changed some of the cost units, so certain units are more cost effective than they used to be. Example are the Halberdiers. Honestly, the Halberdiers were kind of a waste of money when you could just get spearmen to do their job for them. But he's brought the price down on certain units, brought the price up on certain units, and changed the balance. And honestly, it feels really good from what I've played so far. And each faction has a more prominent feel to it. You can tell that Creative Assembly tried to give every faction a feel. They definitely have a theme and a feel to them, but I feel like with Project Areus, it definitely spearheads that theme even more so. For example, what I've been trying to say this entire time is, like, for the Empire, the state troops there are not going to hold up against most other factions' infantry unless it's really low-tier infantry. However, they are pretty well trained. The morale of men is pretty high, so they will hold their ground. They have high armor and high melee defense, so it turns the Empire into a pretty defensive faction. It kind of already was, but this helps them even more so in holding the line. That's kind of their specialty, because they want the cavalry, artillery, and ranged weapons to do most of the damage, or magic units. And for example, like the orcs, he's actually increased their speed. They have even more charge bonus, and they have higher, for the same price, like for the orc boys versus the Empire swordsmen, you're getting more charge bonus, more weapon damage, more weapon attack, and even more speed, movement speed, because he wanted them to be ferocious. I mean, these are huge orcs, These are much bigger than men. I mean, just look at their arm sizes. I mean, do you even bench, dude? Or bro? I guess it's bro, right? That's the saying. Do you even bench, bro? But, I mean, yeah. So the orcs just biologically are structured different than humans, and so they have certain benefits. And psychologically, they're different as well. Just their whole culture and makeup is different. You know, this isn't comparing a human race to another human race, which is what I think makes balancing this game so difficult, because you're not balancing one group of humans against another group of humans where you can just kind of look at their armor and maybe a little bit of how they were trained and their psychological aspects. Now you're looking at different races as well as all sorts of various equipment and weapons and psychological differences. You're looking at just completely different things, and so I think he's worked really hard and come up with a pretty good balance for his mod. And so if that's what you're looking for, I definitely encourage you to at least check it out and try it a little bit. He does have some other mods though, so we're just going to go over those really quickly. So he's got a Better Commandments mod. This is supposed to change some of the values of various commandments. It makes them better. Adds, I think, some different, maybe it's just pure bonus, like increased commandments, which I think is good, because I felt like the commandments were really not that effective. Honestly, I would pick a commandment and then it just wasn't a big deal, so I'd end up leaving that commandment there for a long time. Maybe that's just me. Next one is Confederation bonuses, and this one I definitely agree with as well. And I'll be honest with my opinion about all of these, by the way, guys. I know that I am a friend with him and he sends me replays, and obviously my view on this is going to be a little bit biased, but I'll tell you my honest opinion about these different things. Confederation bonuses, I like this one. I didn't understand why you got penalized for confederating. Didn't seem logical to me. Like everybody would hate you because you're unifying. I don't know. Some people are going to disagree with that one. Then there's Better Legendary Lord campaign traits. This is a really nice one. This gives a more prominent traits to the different legendary lords. And honestly, that's one thing I noticed that I didn't like about Total War Warhammer versus Attila and Rome, for example. And in Attila and Rome, each faction had very different and very unique traits that they gave your faction. Now, while there's some other things in Warhammer that kind of give you that feeling, like different functions and mechanics for the different factions and races, I think this is pretty helpful. A lot of them felt really generic and really small, like they didn't do much. So that's a good one. Then he's got 3 mods after that have pictures of women that are laughing at, well, they're reacting to different sizes of penis. Peni, I suppose the plural would be. Anyways, so the small trade, girl's laughing. Large trade, girl going ooh, and then huge trade, girl's amazed. But yeah, so basically he's got 3 mods in here that affect the percentage of, like, affect the trade. So if you don't like the small amount of actual money you make from trade, like it makes up a very small part of your economy, then these mods would definitely help to alleviate that. The next group of mods are base income mods. So if you didn't already know, you get a base income that just is always there. You're always getting that amount of money. But I think it changes with each difficulty, and he's got a bunch of mods. He's got 3 mods here that change the amount that you get for your base income. It's 5,000, 1,000, and 0. I believe it's 2,500 to begin with, but I'm not sure on that. He's also got Battlefield Dust Remover. Gets rid of all the dust kicked up by units moving around. So if you don't like all the dust floating around, that's for you. He's got more custom battle generals. This allows you to play the game without an actual lord, I believe. You can make one of your units the lord, kind of like you would if you were defending a town or something. Next, he has... Oh, never mind. The rest of them are for previous Total Wars. So yeah, that's what he's got right now. Again, it's really hard for me to go into excruciating detail about Project Areus, the Balance Overhaul one, the large one. But, yeah, you can check his different mods out. I'll leave a link in the description below, but I have some other cool mods coming up to show you guys, and I have some Total War Warhammer battle replays that I'd like to show off. And if you have any yourself that you'd like to send in, go ahead and do that. I'd love to see them. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for now. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a good one.